Opening scene, aerial drone shot of Gilgo Beach at night. Wind howling. Waves crash against the shore. The camera slowly glides over the dark, empty coastline. Narrator calm, but tense. There's a lonely stretch of highway on Long Island, a place where the sound of the ocean hides a darker silence. For decades, the Gilgo Beach murders have remained one of America's most chilling mysteries. Between 1996 and the 2010s, bodies some whole. Others in pieces were discovered in the sand dunes and thick brush. But what if the truth is worse than we imagine? What if the killer is still out there? Seen old missing persons posters and photographs fading in one after another. Narrator, it began in 2010 when a young woman named Shannon Gilbert disappeared after making a frantic 911 call. She was terrified, running through the night, screaming, "They're trying to kill me." Police searched for her, but instead, they uncovered 4 other bodies, each of them young women, each of them sex workers, all found wrapped in burlap, lying just yards away from the highway. This discovery turned a missing persons case into a nightmare that would stretch back nearly 2 decades. Seen police search teams with dogs, helicopters scanning the coastline. Narrator, as investigators combed through the area, more remained surfaced. In total, at least 11 victims were found scattered between Gilgo Beach and neighboring areas. Some victims had been missing for years. Some were mothers. Some were only ever known as Jane Doe. Their identities erased forever. The killer had been hunting here for a long time. Seen close-up reenactment of a cell phone on a table, suddenly ringing. The room is dark. Narrator slower, eerie. One detail sends shivers even today. The killer used the phones of his victims to torment their families. Melissa Barthelomew's younger sister received several calls. On the other end was a man's voice, cold, cruel. He told her what he had done to Melissa. He laughed before hanging up. Seen map of Long Island with red dots marking locations of bodies. Narrator, the murders weren't contained to one spot. Some victims were dismembered. Parts of their bodies were found miles apart. A torso here, a skull there. Whoever the killer was, he knew the land. He knew how to hide his victims, and he knew how to vanish. Seen news clips, detectives giving statements, blurred faces of suspects. Narrator, over the years, theories spread like wildfire. Some believed the killer was a police officer using his knowledge of investigations to stay one step ahead. Others thought he was a local fisherman, someone who knew the tides and marshes well enough to keep secrets hidden. A few even whispered that it wasn't one killer at all, but several. Seen dark reenactment of a man sitting in a parked car, headlights off, watching the highway at night. Narrator low tone. Think about it. 11 victims over a span of nearly 20 years. To kill, to bury, and to taunt and never be caught. That takes patience, intelligence, and above all, a hunger to kill again. Seen police tape blowing in the wind, waves crashing harder. Narrator voice rising slightly. Shannon Gilbert's body was eventually found more than a year later. Her death was ruled as accidental, but her family believes otherwise. They are certain she was murdered by the same hand, yet officially, the case remains unsolved. The killer has never been identified. Final scene, a slow zoom out over the dark Atlantic Ocean. The waves are endless, swallowing the screen. Narrator soft, chilling whisper. The Long Island serial killer could be anyone. A neighbor, a stranger passing by, maybe even someone you've met. As the tide erases footprints in the sand, so has he erased his presence. But somewhere out there, he's still walking free, watching, waiting.